Welcome back. How are you? It's time for Monster Lore. We're going to do some Esper's Emporium of Esoterica. Pretty much half a monster book. We have the Tome of Beasts 2 here. But that's not what you're here for. You're here for me to talk about snakes. That's right. A particular snake. A particular serpent. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to put up a poll. How's it going, Fred Hubbard? You made it. You are on time. Well done. I'm very impressed. If you're not impressed, like Fred struggles to get here, and it's not his fault. Anyway, grab some food, some drink, get comfortable. I'm going to go through this fairly quickly, and then we'll open it up to the workshop, our monster workshop, as we always do. But let's first have a little presentation on the monster, the creature you're here for in the first place. So hopefully I have everything lined up and in the correct location. I pretty much do. I have a drink of water. Hopefully that will help my voice survive a bit longer. Okay, let's see if I can get this done. Hi, welcome to How to RPG. My name is Fred Weller, and today I want to talk about role-playing games, and specifically its monster lore, the Argent Serpent. Has anybody heard of the Argent Serpent? Now, if you haven't heard of the Argent Serpent, well, this is a 5e compatible monster. This is the monster lore on it. It is from Esper's Emporium of Esoterica, and you'll find everything you need to know about that book down in the description. But let's have a talk about this. Let's have a little discussion. The Argent Serpent was spawned from the defeated god Link. Who the heck is Link? I will tell you. Now, the cosmos tends towards balance, but it is continuously struggling with opposing forces. The god of magic had a rival known as Link, and this is the trickster god. Now, Link believed that the wisdom to properly use magic was not achievable. It could not be achieved. As a result, Link spent a millennium sabotaging the arcane god's plans. There's one thing you're going to find, that when gods start interfering with each other, bad things happen. Now, the trickster god tampered with the gift of mystical knowledge that was granted to mortals. Eventually, the two gods' feudings led to a mighty battle, and this ended with Link being defeated. Now, rather than allowing the god of magic the pleasure of victory over Link killed himself. Link actually cut open his belly wide open and allowed his intestines to slither away as gigantic silver serpents. These mythic snakes are known as the Argent Serpents. Like their trickster father, the Argent Serpents are the bane of all who involve themselves with magic, but in particular, magic items. While there aren't many Argent Serpents in the world, or in the galaxy or universe, adventurers dread ever encountering an Argent Serpent. Now, the Argent Serpents are beings of cunning and wit and even mischief. So, Argent Serpents are not the most wicked creature in existence, but they are remorseless in their pursuit of their goals. So what are their goals? The motives of the great serpents often revolve around defeating a powerful mage or a powerful priest, or the destruction of magic items, particularly when they believe they should never have been created in the first place. Tales speak of adventurers breaking into an ancient or forbidden vault, stealing a wondrous magical relic, only to find their minds have been dominated by an Argent Serpent. They just weren't aware that it was an Argent Serpent. A common reaction by adventurers is to believe that a magic item is cursed, but the truth is far deeper. Because Argent Serpents can enter virtually any magic item and control its owner from within. Once a serpent has used the person for their goals or amusement, it will appear in its full form, its full snake form, and swallow that individual, consuming them completely. Now, the monstrous serpent has limited magical immunity to low-powered spells, so you can't really affect it with magic at low level. And it devours and digests magic items. Literally, it is key ability, its key aspect. The Argent Serpent doesn't just eat these things, its body can consume and digest them right down to nothing. The only thing it can't digest is a magical artifact, the most powerful of all magic items. Argent Serpents have an innate spellcasting ability, and all their abilities to cast spells are intended to allow them to locate magic items and then destroy them. Now, a terrifying monster. Really, like, this is the last thing that anybody wants in their role-playing game, and this thing exists if you want it. Now, I hope you found this useful and informative. If you did, fantastic. You'll find that you can check out Esper's Emporium of Esoterica down below, and I'll be going over more of his stuff in the future. I want to thank my patrons who support me so I can keep doing this every week. I want to thank you for watching, and hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s. No, that was fast, wasn't it? That was quick. Because I did add a little bit of my own stuff, people. Not a huge amount. We're going to go straight into the workshop for today. We'll be coming back and talking about some other monsters. But I thought I would present this one. This is the sort of thing that dungeon masters or game masters might really like, and players will probably dislike a lot. So short and sweet for today. Now, you probably never heard of this thing because it's not a Wizards of the Coast or TSR monster. It is still, there's still a stat block for 5e. Okay, Esper's made a stat block, not just the lore behind it. And I have added a couple of things, not a lot, just most of the lore around the Argent Serpent's actually pretty good. So I thought I would stick to just keeping to what he had. Okay, now, let's get straight into the workshop side of things for today. We've been working on, I think the last thing we were working on was, I think it was monster layers. I think there was a discussion around, like, we would like to have some various monster layers, and I had to sort of write them up, sort of tag name them and write them up. And there's a couple of other things that we need to work on as well. So we might be working on a couple of projects today, not just one. I will get my phone up and running so that I can actually track your chat, and feel free to join in and put forward your ideas, because I welcome them, and not all ideas will wind up in a document that I write up. All the stuff goes onto Patreon. Now, what I cannot do is I cannot upload a document about the Argent Serpent onto Patreon, people, because it's not my monster. It's somebody else's. Okay, it's theirs. I have an arrangement of Esper the Bard. I make videos. He provides me with the artwork that he originally made, and I make a video on that topic. And of course, I feel like it's a good trade-off. But I can't upload his work, okay, even if I've made a few slight changes, onto Patreon, because that would be too much. that would be wrong. So I can't do that. But everything we make from here on out, this part of it, a lot of that stuff, like, you know, we've made, so far we've done monster special abilities, 100 monster special abilities. We've done 100 monster traits. We've done 100 monster motivations. We've done monster origins. We've been working on a document that sort of helps you build your own monsters, kind of advanced Dungeons and Dragons style, where you pull a few different animals together from various body parts and you create a new monster. And we will continue to make tools that you can use to make the process of making your own monster and creating your own stories for your monsters easier, because that's what I want to be able to do for you. Okay, so what do you got here, Fred? We need one way. We need more ways to make magic items. Take magic items away from PCs. So, I mean, I think one of the most frightening creatures out there that a lot of, you know, and if you think about, if you wind back the track, or time a little bit, like something like the rust monster was terrifying. You know, the old rust monster could rust magical items, and things like the boulet or boulette or bullet, for those of you who would pronounce that, but the boulet would be able to eat. It would eat magic items. You would have the black pudding would, you know, a lot of the oozes would actually degrade magic items. So I like the idea of including some of these things. I know it's not always popular by players, but there's always the opportunity to pick up new magic items. And, some monsters don't want to be scary because they can hurt you. Sometimes they want to be scary because they can take something away that you like. And I think that's quite a cool idea. In any case, let me just close this up. Open up a couple of new files. Because, as I said, we're going to be working on 2 different projects today, I suspect. I don't think it'll take us that long to get through the first one before we have to move on to the next one. No. Okay, and for those of you on Patreon and wondering when you will see the 100 magic item properties table, I will upload it because I'm taking some time off on the weekend, having my family get together, and we'll do it then. So we're going to do some monster lair types. We were working on monster lair types, and in the end, I was like trying to work to let's just make 20. And I think in the end, people were like, no, we don't want 20. We just want you to make the monster type, whatever monster lair type there is, just write them up. So we're not going to be restricting ourselves to 20, even though you might see the word 20 or the number 20. We are also working on various creatures and monsters that could be built from body parts of real animals. And I think we were doing flying creatures, marine creatures, land-based, and subterranean. We haven't finished marine. I haven't built out everything for that. And I was tempted to just do all of this work in Discord, but since a lot of you actually listen to what I'm saying as I do this, rather than going very quiet and just going to work out on Discord, I will do it here. Okay, so let's start with our monster lair types, shall we? And you should be able to see this in a second. I will then probably have to... Yep, there we go. There it is. So we're going to write up each one. I've decided that after a discussion with everybody that the best way to present this is a tag name and a description, so that some of the work is done for you, so you don't have to come up with the descriptions yourself. So that's why I'm going to do it that way. All right, let's go. We're going to make this a bit larger, a bit hard for you to see, probably a bit hard for me to see. I apologize. I'm doing I've got a lot of gas, and I just can't seem to control it. Okay, so we've done the nest. Now, Fred, I didn't have a chance to actually grab the alphabetizing tool that you had sent me information on. I came home from work. It was about, 12 o'clock at night, and I was too tired to do anything more other than just upload the existing live stream and make sure it was ready to go. And I was all ready to try and see if I could release a new video on any kind of topic that I had pre-recorded, and I just didn't have enough energy. So it just didn't get done. So I'm going to just shuffle a few of these things around, and let's see if we can give you a so I don't feel like creating the descriptions for each of these is actually going to be a problem. And if anything, this is going to be very easy. So I'm just going to move things around a bit. Cabin, a strong built but modest sized house. Okay. All right, Fred, we'll take your description and we'll plug that in now, okay? A strongly built but modest size house. Okay, I'm going to put a question mark beside there because we might actually build it out a little bit more, but you've made it fairly simple. It's nice and clean. It's like one sentence, nice and short. Now, where was a B for bridge? I grabbed the bridge because we were talking about trolls, remember, last time, and like bridges and monsters around bridges seem to be a common trope, so we'll do that. Burrow. I was almost ready to get rid of burrow just because of the fact that I just felt like it was just another cave, but I get it. So we'll put burrow where it needs to go, which is probably just about there. Now Now, since this is requested by one of the patrons on Patreon as a tool that needed to be made, I think this will be done today. I'm pretty sure it will be. I'm almost completely sure it will be. So there should be no problem me uploading it during the weekend. Let's grab this. This is our cabin. Cut. And we'll put our cabin in here. Cabin. I'm going to grab a lozenge, people. I'm going to struggle otherwise. Now, you've already written up laboratory for us. What have you got here? I'm taking off my glasses because I can't... The text on my monitor is really large and the text on the phone is really small, so it's a bit tricky to actually change my... I can't switch it over. It's not that easy. Now, while I do this and try not to just clear my throat constantly, probably a few of you are wondering, so what is the deal? Are you going to keep doing this sort of thing? Well, no, I think eventually we'll get to a point where you will have enough tools to make your own monsters, and we'll simply use the monsters to make monsters. New monsters. Monsters that, whether you like them or not, at least show you the process of creating a new monster. I'm in the process of, I'm still trying to convince AJ Pickett, and he will do it eventually, to create some more monster stuff, some monster building tools. So can be a single room or a large complex. Okay. So a place, now I think what I might do is, if anything, we really want to give them an idea of what you find in a laboratory. And there are so many kinds of tools, and I'm wondering if there's a couple of words we can use to do that. So again, I'm going to put a question mark. I might make some adjustments to that. Burrow. I think I already had a burrow sorted out. As a dwelling. So a hole or tunnel dug by an animal or monster as a dwelling. So I think we've got that sorted out. I think that's fine. Let's keep going. Arcane Nexus. Somebody insisted we put Arcane Nexus in there, so we got it. Arcane, which is going to be A. A ley line or a focus point for a magical phenomena. It doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. Okay, there we go. So, volcano. Again. So we've got N, we've got R. So we don't need to go... Oh no, we can put M in there. Mansion. Mansion is pretty basic. I would like to do more with that. The more I can give you is in terms of, you know, something to work with, the better. So let's go paste that there. The hollow tree, which is, I think that's pretty clearly what it is, so that's fine. Cut H for hollow after D. Paste. What do you got here? Next, Demi Plane, we'll do that in a second. Lake, well, we know what a lake is, but again, I think we can do more with that, so we'll go cut. Again, remember, I'm trying to think in terms of how can I make sure that I give you enough to work with so you don't have to do quite so much work with this sort of thing. Dreams, I was very unsure about dreams, but I'm sold on the idea now. It's a strange concept. Like, okay, we got a monster, and their lair is a dream. Like that's really strange. But there are so many monsters that deal with dreams now, isn't there? So, bedroom, we'll do with that in a second. Vessel, we'll grab this. Pardon me. V for vessel. Go here. We can bring this together. That's fine. We'll put vessel there. And paste. Okay, good. Sewers. Right, and then I want to start doing a little bit of work. With defining some of this stuff. Okay. How are we doing? All right, so we're looking pretty good here. I think before I move on, the volcano. Do I want to put the volcano? Yeah, let's move the volcano. That's done, so we can move that now. Cut. And volcano can go here. All right. Laboratory. We'll move this and we'll do some work with that as well. L. Lab. Right after lake. Well, before lake, probably. Lake. Okay. Cool. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Next, let's deal with dream. So we'll do a little bit of a search. Dream. Dream. Define. How's it going, Pale Rider? How are you? Cave. Yeah, we have cave. That's right. A series of thoughts and images and sensations occurring in a person's mind during sleep. That's pretty much what we're after. I would say exaggerated. I would say we're dealing with the word concept of exaggerated in some way. Right. Where are we? Okay, so, why did that do that? Oh, I know. Because I tried to put it in without taking the formatting out. Okay, there we go. A series of thoughts, images, and sensations. Why do they go comma and then and? I don't get that. And sensations occurring in a person's mind, in a person's mind. But a series of, usually it's not. It's going to be distorted. Distorted thoughts, images, and sensations occurring in a individual's. Individual's mind during sleep. Perfect. There is one of our places we stick our monster. Okay, good. Now, before I move on to the other ones and start putting them together, cabin. Well, I want to make sure I get cabin. What do we got here for cabin? Private. No, that's no good to me. A small wooden shed or house. Well, a cabin is a. Do we feel that a cabin is always going to be made out of wood, or is it going to be a cabin going to be made out of stone? I'm inclined to think that it's probably always a wooden shelter. Can anybody think of a situation where a cabin might not be a wooden structure? Because I'm inclined to think that it probably is always a wooden structure. Let's do this now. Let's put this in here. A strongly built but modest sized wooden house. Okay. Oh, okay, so they're going for the different versions of... Okay. No, we're not dealing with a ship. No, we're not dealing with that. Okay. So our cabin is really in a remote location. Well, let's stick it in a remote location. House. In a remote location. All right. I think that's our cabin. That's our definition of our cabin. Am I happy with that? I am. Burrow, we've got that pretty well defined. Castle, we've got that. Okay, a large fortified building with thick walls, battlements and towers. That's good enough. Okay, cave. We've got cave. It's a yes. That's fine. Dreams, we've done that already. Dungeon, a deep hole, strong underground prison cell or series of iron cages. Okay. No, a deep hole. Now it can be a deep hole, strong underground prison with cells. Let's do cells with cells, or series series of iron cages. That's probably fine. Okay, we've got that. Sweet, lovely. Next, hollow tree, a tree that has rotted out from the inside, leaving a cavity, leaving a large cavity. Okay, we're going to do laboratory, and Fred has already sent us on the right track. So we laboratory, I think that's right. No, let's do it again. Okay, so research. Well, it's going to be research. It's not going to be so much teaching. Manufacture of chemicals. I think we've got to have something like that there. So, experimenting, research, and manufacturing chemicals. Why is that not look right? Is that a different... Oh, I see. It's a different size. How did that happen? No. Oh, it's halved. Why is it halved? That's better. Okay. Okay, cool. Research and manufacturing chemicals. Come on. There we go. There's our manufacturing chemicals. A lake. Lake. No. Yes. A large area of water surrounded by land. So it's... Yep, let's do that. A large area of water surrounded by land. That is not connected to the ocean. I believe that's right. Somebody let me know if I got that wrong. Definition. All right. I think we've got that right. Was that what I wanted to do here? It's not really what I wanted to do here. Now that I think about it, what I wanted to do is inland sea, inland. What I wanted to do is I wanted to give you something around a lake. The problem is lakes are like so different in terms of their makeup. So maybe that's probably not necessary. Oh, sorry people. My chat's not catching up with me on my phone. So if you're saying stuff and I haven't got it, then sorry. Microscopic monster could live in your rotten teeth. Yeah, I suppose it could. That would be a burrow. Yes, it would be. That is not going into dirt. I'm chipper. I'm just, yeah, it's winter here, so I usually have a bit of trouble with stuff. But we'll see. You know, I've got a couple more days, then my work week finishes, and then I get a 3-day weekend, which I'm looking forward to. I haven't had a 3-day weekend in a long, long time. Stone walls with thatched roof. Pale Rider. You've got here stone walls with thatched roof. I think you're referring to a cabin. Can be made of other materials, usually wood, but bones would be appropriate. Are they? So a lake is not necessarily divorced from the ocean. Well, that's interesting. Well, I mean, that's right. You're right. The Great Lakes are. And you can have the intermingling of salt water and fresh water, can't you? I do remember that, something about that. Okay, a large lake of water surrounded by land. By land that stores fresh water. Okay, a large area of fresh water surrounded by land. That's better. Lakes are fresh water usually. And yeah, what else? Well, I want to put something else here, but I just don't know if it's going to be appropriate. Okay, so let's leave that for now. Now, what was I working on? Somebody was saying the cabin. So we'll go back to the cabin. A strongly built but modest-sized wooden or stone house in a remote location. Okay, there we go. We've got that. Next, mansion. A large and impressive house. I mean, can we say anything more, or is that going to be usually with multiple levels? A large and impressive house with multiple stories, levels. Yeah, it's not quite what I wanted to have here, but it's I guess that's close enough. Anyway, let's deal with some of these other things that we need to include in here, because we've got a couple that need to be filled out, and we will. They're not going to be hard. That's fine. How am I doing for? Okay, see if we can get it done in the next 20 minutes, eh? Let's do that. Demi Plane Labyrinth. Let's do the Labyrinth first, because the Labyrinth is basically just a maze, really. But let's see what Google has to say a labyrinth is, and let's see if we can use that in any way. Paste. Labyrinth. Define. For those of you who are sitting there wondering, why do you not just use ChatGPT? Because ChatGPT is really just stealing somebody else's idea. I don't really feel like taking and rewriting sections from the dictionary is a big issue. But as I've seen ChatGPT, and I recommend it as a tool if you're not publishing, you know, and you're making your own stuff at home, then cool. But since it just appropriates stuff however it likes, with whatever's been put onto the internet, and the written word is easy to copy and paste, as you can see, I'm doing it right now. Yeah, I have an issue with it a little bit. And I want you to use your own brain, so I don't want you to rely on a computer brain, okay, or a bit of code. I'm not a huge fan of that. It's coming, but you know, I don't know, people. a little bit concerning about what could potentially happen. It makes plagiarism look like a common occurrence now. Anyway, so Labyrinth. Let's take this and then a complicated irregular network of passages or paths. Passages or paths in which it is difficult to find one's way. Okay. There we go. There's our Labyrinth network. Okay, let's put this in a location for now. Cut. L, Labyrinth. Labyrinth. I think it's going to go right about there. Does it? Does ChatGPT lie? ChatGPT lies. Does it lie? What does it lie about? Tell me what it lies about. I've seen so many people doing videos on artificial intelligence and using it for creating your own resources, and I'm curious as what's going on there. Okay, the moon. I think the problem with the moon here, since we are putting the moon in and defining it, it's going to be pretty obvious. A natural satellite of the Earth, visible, reflected. Again, none of that's useless. It's almost useless to us. So a moon, a large asteroid. It's not like an asteroid. A large rock, basically, orbiting a planet made of. Now, for a moon, usually a moon's not going to... So something like the moon of Endor could not possibly exist. It exists in Star Wars, but it could not possibly exist. Of dust, dirt, rock, and gases. That's really all you're going to be getting. Yes, no. So what do you got here? Lawyers presented a brief to a court that they had Chat GPT write. It included case 4 references. The references were fictitious, but I asked ChatGPT if they were real, and it said yes. I see. Well, when you ask artificial intelligence about its future, and it says, "Well, I'm going to take over the world and make you all my pet or kill you," yeah. Does the Terminator movie not ring any bells? Anyway, size seems to not matter much. Yeah, no. I think that's fine as is, because I want to be at least to describe it, what it is, so you've got an idea, and I think that does it. So let's take the moon reference. Glasses, not glasses. Why do you think it's glasses? Gases. Jeez, moon. Let's stick the moon somewhere. Put the moon it here. Let's put the moon there. Ah dear. Why is the spell checker thinking and gases? Glasses? Look, when was the last time you saw a moon wearing glasses? You tell me. Even when they had a mouth and a nose, like, did they have glasses? Right, next. Let's do an easy one. Let's do our mountain peak. Mountain peak, copy. Some of these are going to be a bit more difficult to copy, so Paste. Mountain peak. Here we go. Well, the definition. A pointed top of a mountain or ridge. There we go. There it is. That's it. Copy. Summit. I think the word summit is probably better though. Let's do this. Stick that in. No. Yes. Okay. The pointed summit of a mountain or ridge. It's not autocorrect, it's auto error. Really? Autocorrect, not auto error. Auto error, not autocorrect. One of those. So, no matter what you're dealing with, mountain tops are always cold. It might not have snow on them, but they're always cold. Okay, mountain peak. The pointed summit of a mountain or ridge that is cold. That a cold climate. In terms of in terms of what you can find at the top of a mountain, it kind of varies, doesn't it? So we will leave that alone. Let's do that. Put our mountain somewhere. Cut this. Mountain. Mound. Somehow he's got to figure out where it's supposed to go, baby. Like that. There we go. Looks about right. Next. Next, let's do bedroom. No, we're going to do portal. Actually, bedroom might be more difficult. I know that sounds strange, but it might be more difficult. Portal. Let's define a portal. So every once in a while I have to re-update my live stream feed off my phone. Otherwise I kind of lose your comments, people. So it's a doorway, gate, or an entrance, especially a large and imposing one. So kind of what we're after. Let's go with this. Portal. Our lair is a portal. Okay, let's do this. A door, gate, or other entrance. Portal, entrance, and what we're doing to entrance to another world or plane of existence. That seem reasonable, people? Are we all right with that one? I think that's going to be fine. I think that gives us what we need. Let's cut this and put portal in the P section. P would be about there. And that's that done. All right, next. Clouds. Well, we know what clouds are. But let's pump in clouds. Oh, sorry, what's this? Snow line is the altitude above which the snow can remain year-round. Air temperature on Earth drops an average of 1 degree per 100 feet altitude, usually more in the first 10,000 feet. Okay, how's it going, brother? How are you? Brother Melici. Melici. Oh, God, I hope I got your name right. Brother Melici. I hope I got your name right. If I got your name wrong, I do apologize. Not a fan of snakes, but they are... but they are for, yeah, they're good for RPGs, role-playing games. Yeah, and the Argent Serpent is a pretty good one, seriously. So, clouds, a visible mass of condensed watery vapor floating in the atmosphere, typically high above the general level of the ground. So, yes, that's fine. That's our clouds. We have a monster lair in the clouds. Okay, slight adjustment on Fred's calculation. Malachi. Brother Malachi. Oh gosh. All right, sorry. Anyway, okay, so this is too much. We're trimming this down. A visible mass of condensed watery vapor floating in the atmosphere. That is all we need. I think that is good enough. Vapor? Why is it doing this? Okay, that's because it's trying to make me American. I can't deal with that. Gases. Oh, there we go. Gases. Let's do that again. Not glasses. Not glasses. It still wants to do that. Oh, jeez. All right, next. Let's take the cloud. Put the cloud where it is, which means I've only got 3 more to go, which is great. Clouds. Clouds will be right here. And we'll put that right about there. Okay, sweet, happy with that. Next, Demi Plane. Let's do the Demi Plane. Because this is, well... So any item, container, or object that allows a monster to live in. Now, the reason we're putting this here, this is not just to cover the phylactery for a lich. Any item, container, or object that okay. Let's see. Maybe I'm going to change this a little bit. So one of the reasons why we're putting this in is not just for the lich. We're putting it in because of the genie in the lamp, the genie in the bottle. There's a lot of things that sort of live inside another object or a container or something like that. And so, you know, the boggart from Harry Potter that lives in a wardrobe or a box is a good example. So this is why we're including the portable object. It's not just a phylactery. UK spelling versus US spelling. I think there's a way to load the different. You can load the different dictionaries, but because it's Google Docs I'm working on. This is Google Docs. Now the reason why I use Google Docs, I explained this to Fred Hubber, is because I can work on my documents on my phone offline. And that's why I can have it up there and I can work on it. And then when I get near any Wi-Fi connection, it will then upload everything I've been working on onto the cloud. And it's very useful for me because I can work mobilely. Because I'm not near my computer to do a lot of the stuff that I create and I work on during the week is not done at home in front of the computer. I just don't have time to do that. So I have to do that while I'm taking a break or somewhere else. You know, a lot of the time I might have an idea, or I might be at work, I'll pull out my phone and I'll jot it down into Google Docs, and then it'll all get saved later on. It's saved on it's just because there's a lot of processing that goes on, so I have to make this whole process very mobile for it to work. Anyway, a gem of soul stealing, yes, a bunch of, there's a whole bunch of different things that I think it relates to. An item, container, or object that is home to a monster. I think that is all we need to have. Actually, we don't even need to have that, do we? I'm just wondering. An item container. Actually, we just need to give a few more examples. Gem. Or object. It might. Cavity. Okay. That's fine. We got it. It's down. Sweet. Yeah, I think that's helped because we didn't need to say that it's for a monster. We just needed to tell you what sort of things you could use as the layer. So let's go there. Portal. Portable. Portable. Not potable, but portable. There we go. Portable object. Demi Plane. Let's do Demi Plane. How am I doing? I got 7 more minutes and that's top of the hour. Wow. Okay, Demi Plane. Let's do Demi Plane. Demi Plane. Right. This has been an interesting activity, I have to say. What is a Demi Plane? Well, that's a good question. That's why I came here. Demi planes are illy defined planes of usually small size that lay either within other planes or outside the known planes, depending on the cosmology model. Okay, so this is not hugely useful, but we'll deal with it. We'll drop it in here, and then we're going to have to trim it a bit. Okay. Okay, a small size. Okay. Illy defined and no, I don't like illy defined, illy, oddly defined, oddly. An oddly defined find small plane right, let's go here. Small plane that lies either within other planes or outside of the known planes. So let's do that. That lies. It's not. Is that the right lies? It might not be the right lies. Oddly defined small plane that lies either within other planes or outside the known planes. I think that's about the best we can do with that. I suppose you could say it is a limited size interdimensional space. Okay, so let's see if we'll use a combination of this. A limited interdimensional. Okay, let's do that. A limited interdimensional space that lies either within other planes or outside the known planes. I think that's probably got it. Whew, a little bit of work either side, and we're done. So a combination. Let's go D for Demi Plane. D for Demi, not Demi Moore, but Demi Plane. There we go. All right, so that's that one done. Bedroom. Now, Potable water will be not portable. No, no, potable water probably isn't portable. Okay, okay, let's do this. Let's define bedroom. Bedroom. What does it actually say for bedroom? A room for sleeping. Wow. Well, we kind of knew that, but what's in a bedroom? Like, what is the definition of a bedroom beyond that? Anything? A room furnished with a bed and intended for primarily for sleeping. Okay, so we've got this, but if we're going to use this, we need to be talking about under the bed and the closet, because this is one of the things about monsters, under the bed, right? A room furnished with a bed intended, we're going to go and, intended primarily for sleeping, intended for sleeping, with a closet. There we go. Let's put that in there. Let's get that done. We need a bed, we need a closet, and that's probably about as much as we need to worry about. And we can stick our monster in the closet, under the bed. Okay, let's go cut bedroom. Bed, right there. Paste. All right, cool. And let's have a look and see what we have. So we wind up with 26 different types of layers for monsters. And hopefully pretty much this covers everything that you might need. So let's have a look. It's not 20, it's 26. Here we go, 26. Oh. And it's top of the hour, which means we have essentially finished it. But let's have a look here. First we have the arcane nexus. We have our bedroom for our monster in their lair, the bridge, a burrow that it might have dug, a cabin, a castle, a cave, clouds, Demi Plane, dreams, dungeon, of course, we're going to have a dungeon, a hollowed out tree, a laboratory, a labyrinth, a lake, a mansion, the moon, mountain peak, a nest. We've got a nest, a portable object, a portal, ruins, sewers, a tomb, a vessel, such as something for space, water, or land, and a volcano. Is that pretty much it? Again, we're going to avoid dealing with environmental stuff. If all we do is make up a list of environments, since we already have 100 different wilderness locations, we don't need to do environment. We just need to give ourselves kind of like a structure. So I think this is why we're making this. I think this is what Noroak was pointing towards when we were discussing, like, how will we structure monster layers and their types. And I think that those are different types that we would have. You know, that pretty much covers everything, even some very peculiar things. If you live in a once room cabin, what happens when you tell the child to go to the bedroom to their room? I don't know. A one room cabin. Well, they can't, can they? That's the thing, is you can't say, oh, you need to go you need to go over here. It's not going to work. It's probably not going to help at all. Dear. Anyway, so I just need last little bit. Where is it? A lot of documents, people. A lot of stuff. This is I work on a lot of different things. Here we go. Here is the. Oh, this is the thing I'm supposed to upload. I haven't uploaded it yet. 100 magic item properties. That took us a while, but we got there eventually. Copy this. Drop this into here. Yes, and happy. We'll go down. We will make it italic, so it's a little bit slanty. There we go. And that's that done. Well done. Cool. All right, so what are we doing when we come back? Well, I think I'm going to go take a break, and we'll come back and we're going to work on. We did flying animals, which is going to take me ages to build out. We're still missing about three flying animals that are relatively different to include here, but I'm not worried too much about that. We have been doing marine animals. So what the idea is, you roll a couple of times to take certain elements of an animal for the head, the body, maybe if it's got arms, the arms, or the limbs, okay? Maybe legs in this case. And so we didn't quite get everything we needed for marine animals. We're still short by roughly about 20 marine animals. I feel like we're doing pretty well, but I think we're going to come back to marine animals next. Hashtag making a list of 100 marine animals that look different. So, in the vein of AD&D, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, the idea is we take certain elements of each of the animal to create a new monster. And I talked to AJ Pickett about how to do this, and he said you have to do it by environment. So that's what we're going to work on when I get back. But I'm going to take a 5-minute break, and then we'll get cracking into working through that. Probably not the most exciting process. I have learned a lot about animals by doing this. By the way, for those of you who are like, oh, but what's the point in doing that? Well, heck, you learn so much about animals. It helps translate over to monsters and how they might operate. Much to my surprise. Anyway, 5 minutes or more, 5 minutes or less, and I'll be back. Oh, coming back in here. Plankton. I think I had plankton last time. Oh, is this a different type of plankton? Okay, let's have a look, Fred. You've got a couple of suggestions in here. I'm going to suggest people marine dinosaurs might help solve our process of building up enough of them. I'm going to, of course, make this a little bit larger because it's a bit small right now, so you can actually see stuff. Like, there we go. So our first one is try I don't know what that is really, so let's go here, type this in, trial, no, trilobite. Oh, okay. Oh, trilobites are an extinct marine arthropods that form the class. Okay, all right. So let's have a look and see what it looks like. Okay. Weird. Very odd. Well, I don't think we've got it though, do we? I don't think we've got that on our list, so. Let's add that to our list of various creatures that we could use. T. Try. T for try. O. Try. E. There. And trilobite. Okay, sweet. Trilobite, got it. I'm sure I had plankton down. Plankton. Is there something different between what you've suggested here, Fred, and standard plankton? The ocean roach, sort of. Trilobite's like an ocean roach. It kind of looks like one, doesn't it? Let's see this. Phytoplankton. Oh. So this is phytoplankton. This is like a microbe organism, isn't it? And what does it actually look like? Does it look like this? Plankton station, phytoplankton and primary. And zooplankton. Oh, I see. There's two different types. Is that what we're dealing with here? This might be very confusing for people. It might be very difficult to actually describe. So there's phytoplankton versus zooplankton. So phytoplankton is a much simpler organism, right? That's what I'm getting. That's my general thoughts. Is the phytoplankton is really simple organism compared to the zooplankton. An autotrophic component of the plankton community and is a key part of the ocean freshwater system. Greek word, okay, meaning wanderer or drifter. Okay, all right. Well, fair enough. Let's put it in. It looks very different. It's got so many different sort of forms too. That's going to be a bit more complicated. But phyto is H, so that needs to go here. And we'll put that in. And phytoplankton. Okay, got it. Yeah, I know there's... Hello, Derp, how are you doing? Derp is a patron, by the way, people. Welcome to the party. Do these have to be real, or can they be fictitious creatures? So the idea is we're using real animals so that we can create fictitious monsters. So I had contemplated, once we've done this, taking this, doing a sort of mid-journey or artificial artwork, and taking various things that we roll and then putting the description in and letting the AI art produce our new monster from our various animals that we've rolled up. So we're trying to come up with 100 real animals that look very different from each other that we can use to make a completely new monster. So that's what we're kind of trying to do here, Derp. And we're doing marine creatures right now, and we've done pretty well so far. I mean, I'm been pretty happy with the progress. Anyway, let's continue on. Let's go with here. Extinct marine creatures. Let's find some marine creatures that are extinct. The Plesiosaurus, I believe we already have the Plesiosaurus, but we'll check under P for Pledio. Yes, the Plesiosaurus is there. We've got the this one already. What is that? I'm not sure what this is, so let's just grab that, chuck that in here, and let's have a look. Holy shit! What is that? That's that's artwork. That's not a real thing. Okay. is a genius of extinct large. Oh, okay. Well, what is it? Is that an octopus? It's not an octopus. Really? It's like an octopus in a shell, a pointy shell. Holy shit, that's I mean, that in itself is like a new monster, isn't it? This monster can pierce your sailing ship. It's got a spear attached to it. Holy Toledo. Okay. Well, let's take this. I think we're going to add this one on. Copy. Cam, CCC, cam. It's clam. Let's put this thing in. It's going to be a real effort to get this all sorted, but anyway. But everything is a dog, that's right. Well, when it comes to marine, everything's a fish, right? Everything is a fish. How can we possibly come up with 100 different marine animals, Fred? Because everything looks like a fish. And I say to you, you're so right. You're wasting your time here. Yet we have found many things that don't look like a fish. Or a dog. Anyway, that's worked out quite well. We've added one more onto our list that is growing smaller and smaller. Only 15 or 16 more to go. Ammonites. What is an ammonite? A megalodon is just basically a great huge shark. I'm not worried so much about that little one. I would have thought we'd have had that one already though. Oh, maybe we don't. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I am wrong. Let's go here. Oh. Okay, so it's kind of like a... Are you serious? So we've got one that it's got like a huge spike for piercing things. Then you've got another one that looks like a hermit crab and an octopus combined. Is that really what we're dealing with here? How big did these things get? But it's fictional, yeah. So, look, we can use fictional and mythological monsters already. But I think the idea was that we would, because most mythical and fictitious monsters are based off real world animals in the first place. So I was like, it would be nice to be able to just like take a whole lot of animals and use them as our building blocks. So that's well, we're going to add this on as well. I didn't realize this was a thing. That's quite peculiar. A lot of squiddy-like things going on here. So that's an anglerfish. And this is an ammonite. So let's go here. Put that in there. Marine. No formatting. Ammonite. Okay. Next. Megalodon. I know what a megalodon is. What the heck is that? I don't know. I don't know what that is either, but we will have a look. Copy this. Let's have a little gander of that one. Oh, okay. All right. Let me check that in a second. Fossilized. It just looks like a little crayfish, basically. It's a crayfish. Not worrying about that. Oh, they're just really big. I see. Okay. It's like a giant crayfish. Dear. Okay. Isn't it cute? All right, let's have a look at what did Fred, you came up with something here. I thought we might have had this already, but siphon. Oh, okay. All right. So let's find it. That's it there. Oh, this is a jellyfish, isn't it? A giant. Is it basically a jellyfish? So they're really long, 40 meters long, longer than the blue whale, which is, oh, really? Usually considered Earth's largest animal, but it is not much bigger than a broomstick. Oh, it's just extremely long, I see. Invertebrate lives in... Well, let's have another look at the pictures, but it looks to me like it's just basically a very long jellyfish. Oh, it's a jellyfish bit with a twist, isn't it? I see why you've put it forward. Did we have anything like it? Not really. Jellyfish, we've got jellyfish, and then we don't have giant, whatever the heck you call it. So let's take it. We'll use that. We'll go copy, and we'll put it into G for giant. Is there a non-giant version of it? I'm pretty sure we have the anglerfish already, because we had that argument last time about. Yeah, so there's the giant one and there's the non-giant one. It's a very odd creature. Why don't I thought we had something like this? Maybe somebody mentioned it and I just didn't write it down. Sponge, squid, stonefish. Well, I think what we'll do is I'm going to take this and we're going to get rid of giant, and we're just going to go here, and it's out of alphabetical order, so I'll grab it and we'll go cut, and we'll put it in SP, HI, so it should live about there. Okay, so we've added that to our list. Yeah, the anglerfish is on the list, so if you're wondering, it is there. Right. Next extinct creature. I was looking at this. Yeah, I decided in the end that it was just another crab, wasn't it? This thing here, what is this? I don't know. Let's find out. What have we got here? What have we got here? Oh, it's kind of like a Do we have this already? It looks a little bit like a fish and a crocodile, doesn't it? It's got very fish and crocodile feels to it. I wonder if we already have this, because we have, look, Tylosaurus. No. I think it's going to be going right about there. So we can take the first. Do we need the entire word? Tylosaurus. I think Tylosaurus is probably good enough. Yeah, Tylosaurus. We'll take Tylosaurus. Copy, and we'll put our Tylosaurus in. One Tylosaurus. The extremely rare humpback golden line barbel found in the South China caves. Really? What's this? All right, let's see what you've got here for me. Humpback golden. Wow, what do you got here? Golden line. What is it? Barbel. Oh, okay, it's a thing. All right. Just looks like a fish, doesn't it? Just looks like a fish. It's another fish. We have any fishies. Okay, all right. I'll think about that one. But, yeah, it just looks like a fish to me. We've got a lot of them, apparently, because everything looks like a dog and a fish, right? So that's going to happen. All right, so let's go and do the... Oh, this is basically the other creature that you showed me before, isn't it? It's just... It's a shrimp. It's basically a shrimp-like creature. Is it different enough, though? Ancient shrimp. Okay. Large compared to a... Okay, all right, cool. Someone's already gone and turned this creature and combined it with a lady. Well done. I'm going to put a question mark on that one. I'll put it down, but I feel like it's very similar to something else that you'd shown me before. I think the only thing that's discerning, that's slightly different about it, is it kind of has those odd things in the front that sort of curve over, but that's really about all that's going on here. I think the amphibious creatures are going to be the most difficult to actually contend with. Angler. And no. Let's do this. But question mark on that one. Oh, it's a blind fish, so that's why you put it forward. Has it got no eyes? Ancient oddities, 8 extinct sea animals. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got 8 already from there. That's not going to do us. If we wanted more, we're going to need a few more than that. That ain't going to be enough. Not at all. Okay, so let's try something else. Let's try microscopic marine creatures. Okay. Well, we've already got sponge. Forums. What is that? There's a few. Well, okay. All right, so that's something I don't know too much about. Let's try this one here. Copy. And we'll get rid of this. The American Dipper. The American Dipper? Is there enough going on here to actually include it on our list? I suppose there is. American Dipper. Let's have a look at your American Dipper. Why is it called the American Dipper? Is it only found in America? It's a bird. We're doing marine animals and you're giving me a bird. American Dipper, also known as a semi-aquatic bird, species native to North America. A bird that walks underneath the water. Oh, I see. Only truly aquatic songbird. Interesting. Well, now we've got something else going on here, don't we? It actually goes underwater. What is the name of the American Dipper? American dippers were once known as the water ozzles. Oh, okay, a term used by natural. Okay, youths. Okay, so I'm going to call it. We'll give this name. It's too on the nose to call it the American Dipper. Okay. So yes. Also known as the water ozzle. Okay, so semi-aquatic. All right, let's so under W. Water ozzle. Here we go. Let's put that there. Right there. Water ozzle. Would not have guessed that one at all. There we go. I have included it. The Northern Stargazer? What is the Northern Stargazer? Northern Stargazer. Northern Stargazer. Oh. Well, it's a fish. God, that's an ugly looking fish. Why is it called the Northern Stargazer? Length of 22 inches and is found in the Atlantic shores between the states of North Carolina and New York in the United States. The Northern Stargazer can be found to the depths of 120 feet. Stargazers have a flat forehead with a lot of body mass up front near the mouth. Okay, yes. Scientific name is that one. Live primarily along the eastern seaboard of the United States. Prey eyes are situated on the top of the head. So it's kind of like the flounder, but different, isn't it? It's a bulbous fish. It's a bulbous fish. I think somebody had asked me to put flounder on here. Didn't somebody ask me last time to include flounder? Because maybe that was because it was such a flat fish. Can we imagine getting the head of our monster looking like that? We can. The rest of the body not so great, but Tongue-eating louse. Let the nightmares begin. Oh, okay. Wide open. Is there wide open? Let's have a look down here. Oh, I see. Okay, all right. Let's have a little quick look here. It's a flounder. I suppose the flounder, it does look fish-like, but it's very specific, isn't it? Estuaries. Is flounder native to New Zealand? I doubt it. Sand flounders are endemic to New Zealand. Oh, really? New Zealand sand flounders are found in a majority of coast. Yeah, well, I know because I've eaten a few of them. Its largest population is found in the Tasman Bay and east coast of South Island. Yeah, but I mean, I don't find it's a New Zealand fish primarily, and they've got the two eyes on top rather than on them. Okay, all right. We'll add flounder and we'll add stargazer. Copy. Flounder. If flound. I'm floundering. There's an O in here somewhere. Right, I think about there. Flying fish and the flapjack octopus. Let's put that flounder. Got it. Next, let's get our stargazer. Northern stargazer. Stargazer fish. Northern stargazer. So it's got a few different names. I wonder what's the... Okay. Northern stargazer. I don't quite understand the name myself. Northern. North. Northern stargazer. And I think I found another one too that I was going to add, and I got distracted by some suggestions. Very easy to distract me, as people know. Northern stargazer. All right, so let's close that one down. It was this thing. That's right. I was going to add that. Copy. Copy. C-O-P. 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 There. And we'll put it in. Okay, how are we doing? Are we still far away? Oh, about 7 more roughly. Okay, that's fine. Let's check on into another one. What is that? This is a... I don't know what that is. But we will have a look and see what it looks like. Do 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 do. Oh my god. It's a very simple organism, that one. Okay. Oh, here we go. Sorry about this. Just my chat's not catching up with me on my phone very well, people, today. If anything, it's so far behind, it's not funny. So just give me a second while I just see if I can update it again. Okay, there we go. Wait, they swap pictures. Sadistic fringe head, like the northern stargate Stargazer, the sadistic fringe head, is a ferocious fish with a funny name. Oh, okay, sadistic fringe head. I think the northern stargazer is because it lives in the north hemisphere and is a stargazer because of the face. It's looking. Could well be, Dirt. Could be. Okay. Well, this is. I mean, I think we can certainly say we haven't had anything like that show up so far, so we'll put it on. Since it is apparently aquatic. DIA, dead on almost arrival. DIA, dead in arrival. No, dolphin. Paste. There we go. Now the fringe fish. You'd mentioned the sadistic fringe fish. Let us look up the sadistic fringe fish and see what we're talking about here. Sarcastic fringe head. What's this? I'm sure we've seen something like that. I'm sure we've got a fish that looks like that. Yeah. No, I remember it. It was. I don't think it was called that name, but I recognise it. I'm sure Charles or somebody else had pointed it out to me, and I added it to the list because they were like, "This is pretty different," and so I'd put it down. I don't remember what it was called though. Anyway, so we've got 6 more to go. So let's keep moving. Zooplankton, we're not doing zooplankton because we've got plankton in the other one, so we're not doing that. Sponges, we've done that. Forums, what's forums? Is this again another single cell organism? There's a lot of single cell organisms going on right now. Copy. Is it going to present enough of an interest though? That's I guess the point, isn't it? Let's put this in. Well, that's not what I was trying to do. It's like it's loaded everything. Let's do that. Does it want to do anything? My computer just did nothing. Let's try it again. Okay. God, it's so simple. Single cell organism. What is a forum? 1980 forums. Really? Okay, so it's kind of like the other one that we just talked. It looks like we're kind of covering the same thing, aren't we? Granular, ectoplasm, catching food, small shell. I'm not very convinced by that one. Don't look at the tongue eating louse. You will. Well, now you know I'm going to do that. There's potentially 5 people who will scuba diver. You're going to stick a scuba diver in it. Yeah. Human. Right. All right, people. Let's see if he's right. Will you chunder your breakfast? Tongue eating louse. I don't see anything that fantastic about this. I guess the idea is bad. It's a parasite. Tongue-eating louse. Well, I guess we could go with just louse. Do we have louse? Because a louse is probably good enough as an addition. Doesn't have to be tongue eating. I'm pretty sure there's amphibious or marine louses. Marine louse. Sea lice. Oh, that's right. Did people remember sea lice? I remember when I was at Takapuna Beach, you go swimming in summer, and I'd get eaten by the sea lice or sea louse. They were horrible. And you just scratch yourself to pieces. Like they were just awful to contend with. Sea louse. Do we have sea louse there? We don't. We have that. We have H, sea louse. I hate sea louse. I hate them. I hate them so much. Oh, it's the fish's mouth. Yeah, no, I kind of figured that. I didn't chunder my food. I still got it. I'm still holding it down, people. It's all good as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, so I don't think we're going to use that one. We've kind of already used that one. So let's have a look at something else. We've done these, done that. Sponges. I'm pretty sure we did the tardigrade, didn't we? Oh, maybe we didn't. I'm sure because it's like the water cow. It's called the water cow, isn't it? Often called the water cow. Those are the things that tried to swallow Ant-Man. I don't think I've got an underwater cow, water boat. So let's grab this one here. Oh, the water bear. That's right. We used to make jokes about this. The bear bard. We would make jokes about his water bear, followed by the cocaine bear. But TAR. So we're going to put that there. That's our new marine monster that we can create another monster from. There we go. Sweet. And who would have guessed? Who would have guessed? Anyway, let's lock that up. We've got 14 more as possibilities. I don't think there's much point going there because that's really just a... I mean, really that just looks like another silly, what do you call it, shrimp. And I'm pretty sure we've got shrimp and crayfish coming out of ears. I'm almost sure of it. Shrimp, yeah. And then we've probably got crayfish and crab. Crayfish, crab, yeah. It's like they're pretty much the same. A rotifier. What is that? That's weird. I can see a little picture there and it looks a little odd. Some very sort of microscopic things going on here. Let's see what this is. Called a wheel animal. A wheel animal? Not a real animal, but a wheel animal. Let's go here. Copy. And let's go here. Let's put this in. Okay, so there's pretty... Oh, okay, there's a little bit of a picture of it here. What is this? What's going on here? It's got a mouth. It's got an ass. It's got an anus for pooping. Lovely. How's it going, Sir Rill? How are you? The space bear too. Yeah. Chimera is a fish thing, also known as a ghost shark, ratfish, spookfish, or... All right, okay, all right. I'll look into it. Well, I think we can probably use this. It's very simple in terms of its structure, but we're only going to be using parts of it on our table anyway. So let's go copy ROT. Pardon me. Oh, we've got nothing under R. Paste. Okay, that's that one. And then what did you put in here? You've got time. Well, anatomy for that. Is it different enough? Feels like yet another fish. Again, dogs and fish. Everything looks like a dog or a fish, right? I'll think about it. I'll think about it. +1 for the first R. Yeah, +1. Exactly. Living Sand Beach. Is that too fantastic? Well, actually, we're just doing animals right now. I'm just picking out animals that we could use to create monsters. This is really like, these are just like blobs, so this is not going to help us. Gastro Trent. Is that really? No, I don't know. Is it that? I don't think there's much going on there. Sea stars. Is this a sea star? I'm a little curious. Not completely, because it doesn't look that exciting either. I don't think there's much going on there biologically. Is that what I had typed in? Because I'm sure that's not what I typed in. I just typed in the last one, didn't I? Just give me that. What's this? Oh, it's a starfish. Well, I mean, we've got starfish. We don't have to call it something else. I'm pretty sure I put down starfish. Did I not? Yeah, starfish. It's a starfish. Who cares? Okay. Let's go back. What is that? Oh, it's small plankton. Okay. All right. And I think we're done with the microscopic stuff. I think the microscopic creatures are only going to get us so far because they're so small and simple. Sand dollar creature? Sand dollar? I think somebody had mentioned something about a sand dollar before. Sand dollar. Yeah, yeah, I recognize this. I'm pretty sure I put down sand dollar. There they go. Sand dollar's on the list. 1, 2. So is it 3 more left to go? How much time have I got? I'm out of time. Out of time. Time to go to work. Good news though. We got a lot further. I wonder what's the next thing. I mean, we've done dinosaurs, extinct creatures, microscopic. What about? I wonder if deep sea marine animals. Well, that's not quite right though, Fred, is it? Okay. The vampire squid. What? We've got those. Fangtooth. We've got those. Giant squids. We've got that. A vampire squid. I think that's the one that isn't it like a. It looks like a hat. I'm sure it's the one that looks like a hat. Let's just have a look. Vampire squid. Yeah, I'm sure this is. I recognize this. It's a squid that you wear on your head. Yeah. Yeah, but trout looks like just another fish, really, doesn't it? I'm sure that there is a squid or an octopus that we had in here. We got squid. Let's just have a look here. Is this different enough? I don't think it is. We got octopus. This reminds me of the time that somebody typed in tree octopus, and I actually thought it was a real creature. Only it's a hoax. The flapjack octopus. Is the flapjack octopus and the vampire squid similar or not? There's the vampire squid. Let's have a look at the flapjack octopus. Okay, so it's the flapjack octopus and then the vampire squid. I guess the vampire squid is actually, it's got these little flappy things. It's got these little ears on it. This has got little ears on it. That one doesn't. This one has, I guess it's got a slightly different build to it. Okay. Vampire squid. A ridiculous name. Seriously? Why are we calling it a vampire squid? It's a real creature and you called it a vampire squid? Vampire squid. Paste. And I think that will do. We'll come back to this next week, work our way through here. If somebody comes up with a better tool to be working on, I'm just going to work through this until we get it done. Otherwise, look, today we came up with 26 different types of monster lairs that you could use. And now there's a table, okay? Whether you roll on it or whether you just use it as information is up to you. You kind of, all your monster lairs are going to be based off that, pretty much, I would imagine, unless, of course, you're really clever and you come up with something else. But I think that does a reasonable job of the whole process. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with finishing today and going to work and working on my next monster. We'll be dealing with a monster that's kind of like a gold coin. It's like a bug and a gold coin all combined. It's another one of Esper's rather peculiar monsters and creatures that I think should get some life in the public for the 100 or so people who watch my my channel. Sorry about that, people. I just moved myself forward. Okay, so tomorrow, what's happening tomorrow? Well, tomorrow I'm going to be doing the champion character building for Pathfinder 2nd edition. We'll be covering the champion, which is basically just a paladin as far as I'm concerned. They've just called it the champion in Pathfinder 2nd edition. So that's what will be happening. Lair in the center of the black hole. Well, I feel like a black hole is a portal. It's a portal. It's just a very black portal. Not funny, eh? not that good. Anyway, I'm done. I am tired. I need to get going. I need to go and do the next job. And this is really a job nowadays. It's a hobby. It's a hangout. Anyway, it does feel like a job sometimes, though. Anyway, I will say this. I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons who support me on Patreon. I want to thank you for coming and watching and hanging out. I want to thank you for taking part in the poll. I really do appreciate those people who took part in the poll today. Do you like snakes was the question. And we had 15 votes. And yes, there are 66% of you like snakes. And no, 20%, undecided 13%. So we know that a lot of people like snakes. You like snakes. I'm not a fond of snakes myself. But anyway, thank you to my patrons. Thank you for watching. Thank you for taking part in the poll. Thank you for all of your feedback in the chat, Fred Hubber, Cyril, and Derp. I do appreciate it. Without you, it would have been a very quiet time. Also, brother Malachi, I think it's Malachi. Oh my gosh, Pale Rider, thank you for being here. All right, I'm going to get going. So wherever you are in the world, whether it be the morning, the afternoon, the night, or the wee early morning, please look after yourself, your family, and your friends. Be nice to your neighbours. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.